Today's topic we have from Splunk. Gaurav will be driving you through the session. The topic is the framework of Splunk Enterprise Security. If you have any questions during the session, I would request you to please put in all your questions in the Q&A box and we will answer them at the end of the session. Gaurav, over to you.
Thank you, Bindya. Good morning, everyone. This is Gaurav Madhur Ramtike. I'm a Splunk SC at Redington Gulf. This is my email address. If you have any questions related during the session or after the session, do you need help or assistance on any particular subject on Splunk, I would be really happy to help. So you can write down to me anytime you feel okay. So today's agenda will have we'll go through enterprise security framework. Basically, I'll give you an overview. Will not go into detail, but however, this presentation is designed in a detailed mode. But few of the we'll just go bullet points, because if we carry out through the complete framework, it is going to be longer presentation, and we have a time limit around it. Okay, so here we start. I hope you guys all know what is Splunk. It is a machine data platform, and it makes machine data accessible, usable, and valuable to any people, any person asking different questions from different department to the same data. Now there are stories which I have stated earlier. If you would have attended the presentation, my presentation earlier. So, so same data can give you the value from different perspective. You can ask different questions. Okay. It is not only a SIEM solution. We always state Splunk as a machine data platform, and hence it can give you value out from different business line in the organization itself. So today we have so as you know, even now in this difficult times, COVID-19 pandemics which are going on, if you see the cyber attacks which are happening during these difficult times have been increased. You can see the reports from Bloomberg or Finance Tech, and you could find the attacks on financial institutes have been increased. So there is this, excuse me for this. So it is very prominent that threats are increasing day by day, and attackers don't take breath, even though the things are not with the market. So they're not stopping anytime, and even though we set up a complex environment from the security point of view, still there are there are attacks which are happening. Mostly targeted are financials institutes, and then if you see, there are different objectives around the attacks, and they always put efforts, patience, and with that they carry out this kind of attacks. Of course, now when you think of the security services, or uh, the knowledge gap between the offensive and defensive security is I would say it's very big, and to fill that gap, it takes time and resources around it. So filling that gap is a little bit difficult. That is known to everyone, I guess. But to that's where the security companies, the vendors, they come into play, and put forward their solution just to give confidence to the customer, where they are prone to get attacked, and they can come up with the solution. That's where the security incident event management cycle comes into play, which we're going to discuss. Even though after you put all the securities into different layers in your environment, OSI layers, but still you don't know which particular attack can travel through, and where it has been reached, what destination has been reached, with which destination has been reached, because to grill down to and correlate those complete cycle is difficult. And top of it, we are going towards automation, as I think even the most matured security companies, or the companies who have compliance mandatory, or they have to comply with particular compliances from the uh, uh, regulatory rules within the country or within the institute. They know the operations is gonna get automated during, and no within no time. I would say the next maximum 5 years. The tier one analyst work would be automated completely, and they would have all the playbooks, run books all across in the GitHub, or the known media, where every user can find it out and use them. At present, if you see, we are spending 50% of our time into detecting and responding to the logic of an attack, just to find out and logic, and then respond to that particular incident. So yes, of course, we are looking at one platform which can give you the complete investigation, and to orchestrate all the incident at one platform. So that's where it is. So this is our Splunk security portfolio, guys. Enterprise security sits in between, acts as a brain. We'll see it is acting as a nerve center of any of a security operation center. Around it, around it you have user behavior analytics, UBA, and Phantom, which plays a machine learning algorithm to find anomalies in the internal threats and anomalies detection. Even lateral movements, if you see, um, towards attack, and then you can automate through Phantom. So it's a complete cycle where you can play, which is sitting across the core platform of Splunk. So this portfolio is all about giving you the complete movement from reactive to proactive approach, where you can take actions directly to mitigate before it can um, you know spread across to your network, or the attack vector which has been prone into your network can be found in a very minimal time, and it can be acted upon and take actions upon. So that's where the if you see across all operation security operation center, these are the four pillars where they always focus, and mostly the third pillar is the analyze pillar is where we spend most of the time, and that's where the challenge is exactly to find out which is true positive and which is false positive in the matter of triggered incident, right? And how we can act on this and automate that process completely. And once that is automated, how we can minimize the triage of alerts which is coming in, bombarding to us to a very to a particular correct incidents, and then take actions on it. So that is where the Splunk has taken up the challenge, and that's what we're going to discuss in this how it is differentiated uh, across the SIEM domain, why it is a leader in the complete entire you know SIEM para platform. So this is where we're going to focus today. We're not going to discuss more on UBA or the Phantom. I think I have already conducted uh, the presentation for Phantom overview and the demo across the before down the line. So as you know, legacy systems, there are challenges with the SIM uh, where you could find this basic challenges, where challenges like integrating the data with the integration of the data with the system, security system. And once you integrate it, there is always an ETL process, extract, transform, load process. It's not difficult, it's not simple, it's always difficult and resource intensive process to onboard any data. As you can, as you know, all the vendors are always continuously improving, upgrading themselves. And the data generated by them is always always changing. Audit data is changing, their fields and all that. So the platform we put them into is all has to be uh, a dynamic platform, so that it can adopt easily and act on that particular change, right? So that is one challenge I think. Then if you see that process in play, of course it is uh, slow in nature. The Of course, and at the end, investigations become slow if you don't know exactly the what we are missing from the raw data. And if you don't know what you're missing, you tend to make a mistake and put brains on most of the energy on finding out where we're going wrong. Once that is there, then there is this. Most of the sim are based on appliances. Based on the appliances, they have predefined appliances configurations around it, and if they want to scale, it is really difficult for them to scale. And scaling factor becomes very costly as well to the end customer once they if they want to scale down the line. There are also different components which are independent to each other if you think of other SIM solutions, and also the pattern which they um, license the solution. So this whole factor, I would say, make it uh, the scalability becomes an issue for any customer if we think of time and money they spend on it. So also because of that, there is no particular roadmap for the SIM solution which they procure, and also the ecosystem around it is very minimal. Not exactly the way you should be able to get the answers from if you're facing any technical issues, or you need a reading around any topic in the documentation, or a community basically. um, and hence the deployment option, it's inflexible deployment options are there. So that's where the challenges are, I would say, in any security operations center. So as a Splunk, these all are taken care. All security related data is standardized already in the Splunk base. If you go and check any standard security operation security technology, you would find it is SIEM compliant. Enterprise security is a SIEM compliant uh, data type. It is always needed. And if it is not SIM compliant, of course, you can directly onboard the data and design your parser on the fly. So you don't have much brains to follow the complete ETL process there. So it can quickly ingest the data. It's very simple. You just install the forwarder on then data sources. If it is not allowed, you can also integrate via pull mechanism. The push and pull mechanism, many different ways are available, and hence it's very flexible in the matter of investigation. You can scale up to petabytes of data. It's already there are many customers who are using Splunk in a petabytes data environment. We're ingesting petabytes of data, and as you must be knowing, Splunk is licensed based on the volume of data generated you ingest every day. The ecosystem around Splunk is very, very, very strong. You have Slack community, you have the Answers community, where you can just raise your technical questions, queries. You can get answers within 2 hours, even though if you don't have support. However, and once after that, rich documentation for any particular product or apps add-ons available. After that, you have documentation around developing the complete product. So rich documentation, rich community around it. There are multiple communities for you to give support online. Also, as it is a software-based product, you can install and use anywhere possible. It could be on-prem, it could be on cloud, it could be on hybrid mode, as it is optimized, as it is comfortable for the customer environment. So that's where the strong point of I would think any modern security operation need. So this is the functionality of enterprise security operations center, which is you know uh, basically challenges come into play, right? So there are always functions of SIM solution which does monitor, detect, investigate, respond, which you're going to look at the complete environment, how the framework is it looks like. This is the slide which can uh, give please throw any questions if you have on this particular slide. I would happy to answer. So process is always review the incidents coming in, then determine and decide is the factor where analyst plays a role. Once the decision is done, there is always determine again. So analyst has to go back and check whether it is true positive, and then you can take an action on it. So also there are different challenges like prioritizing the incident and then responding in a timely manner, then also in an effectively you need a platform where you can effectively analyze the incident, correct? That's most of the challenges we face here, facing in any security operations center. This is the framework around enterprise security. You could see there's six frameworks, which is a very strong framework around these security enterprise security platform. First is notable events. We generally called it as the correlated events. Then comes with the asset and identities, which is a enrichment, external enrichment, which we can do. Risk analysis also, it's a framework how enterprise security, analyze the incidents and prioritize it as per the data coming in from different data sources, correct? Also the threat intelligence, it's the uh, the best platform, I would say, because we'll discuss why threat intelligence is important, and how does enterprise security integrates with the data platform, data platform which has been given. And after that, use case libraries, which is a content library, and there is this adapter response. These are the basic points where any enterprise security solutions collate together and build their pillars. Of course, now this slide also gives you the small architecture, kind of the bottom layer. You would see the layer where all your data you can fit into the platform. And there are two platforms available. One is on-prem and one is cloud environment. And now in cloud, there are two subscription based as well as your own private cloud you can set up. As I said, it's just you can put it in hybrid mode. And top of it, enterprise security sits in with these all pillars with it. Okay, we'll dive into each of them. Uh, Notable events. So notable events, as I said, it's correlated events. It what it does, it gives it is a it generates on the rules which you configured. um, uh, and now it has an incident review dashboard which you're going to see, which can consolidate your incidents in a uh, dashboard where you can manage and act on it. So you can also take your decisions, align actions, and qualify it to be you know to be resolved, or assign it to any users. So that thing from a one console. So yes, as of course it is now supports different operations. We'll go through on this workflow. So this is the function where this incident review dashboard helps you monitor, detects, investigate, respond. This is the first dashboard where all analysts starts their daily work. In a security operations center, they can logically um, build their the cycle, the workflow uh, in around incidents which are happening. Uh, Provide graphical oriented user experience supporting the security operation workflow. It's also optimize your security operation by interfaces versus search bar interface, security operational task, and key relevant information automatically presented as a summary of incident. How do we do that? You'll see here. So this is an incident review dashboard. You can see at the left hand side all the urgency. You can filter, just click on one of the urgency label, and this is all risk tagged incidents. You can filter there by clicking that. There are also filters available at the middle, where status, filter by status, names, owner, even search the particular source in the whole incident's been generated. And then there is left side, you have the bars, um, the filter on the timeline. So what it gives you is integrated consolidated incident management. It also simplify your understanding of all incidents in your network, just to to make your decision making faster, and you know where to act first. Right. As you can go down all the incidents, you can see with the time range listed down below. Having the title, you can expand those incidents, see the details, what source, how many times the incident has been occurred on that particular source, with the very descriptive um, uh, um, very descriptive statements aligned to each of the incidents happening, and then what actions has been taken around that particular correlated events and everything, which has been on the line. Make it easier, rapid understanding of threats in the environment. So this is how you could see the complete domain. We This is a workflow one, where all the status, urgency, as you can see, you can change it from your assign owner. You can assign owner as well. You can take actions from here, even change the status. So you can track even the actions done by any analyst in the operation center, just by um, changing the status of these incidents, and mark the actions as well. So that is where you can do this. This is the context of the incident, where you can find all the details related to that particular incident. What category does it lie, what IP address, which country this IP address is coming from, does that data source is attached to any particular domain, and does it have antivirus or not. So you can check all those information. And also, if you see actions, if you want to take an action around that particular source IP address, there are multiple actions you can see and take, just to drill down more deeper dive, I would say, not only from the one angle, but then you see, you can go search that particular IP address on Google. You can do asset, if it is a asset investigation, you can go to asset center, you can do NS lookup, you can also search all the traffic coming in and out from this particular address. You can check the IDS traffic also. Also, if there are vulnerabilities available in this particular source. So all those multiple actions you can take from single pane. There are also different actions on directly on incidents, where you have different capabilities. It is a customizable thing. You can customize these actions as you want, and there are contextual actions you can take. You can adaptive response, like automate, or you can orchestrate your actions as well from here. So that is where this is the framework, basic framework. So whenever there is a correlated event generates, a notable event is generated from a rule. It then persists in a notable index. Once it is triggered in incident review dashboard, now analysts can go and track the progress of the incident. Once incident is analysts can track. There are also, all activities being captured on the actions taken on that particular incident. So that's the basic, in a simple language for notable events, correlated events. We go to now asset and identity framework, where this is a framework where asset and identity are mapped externally. So it's like a risk assessment done on your infrastructure externally, and then you fed that uh, that to the enterprise security. So to generate and um, align your incidents to a particular asset, which is based on now um, the criticality or the priority of the infrastructure or the service. I hope you understand there. So asset and identity are the lookups which we do at the enterprise level, which helps enrich the security operations uh, with the incidents coming in, um, uh, uh, and help to correlate the data as well nicely. So it also extend situational based insight. So that is also, it's like enriching more accurate assessment, like situational aspect of incidents. And that's what it does, framework. So this is kind of a lookup file which it looks like once you do risk assessment in your environment. So all assets which have been which is been categorized in your environment having some priority level. So you need to mark those priority level. As you can see, those color uh, you know row colored row in yellow, green, orange, and red. And that's what I would say can help more for coming in data within the enterprise to map it to the framework, so that it gives you the enriched information for you, and you understand why it is uh, raising the incidents again and again, and is it false positive and true positive. So this is the one actions where you minimize the false positive more. Of course, now this is not only one, this is the first step towards it, I would say. Okay, so this is the identity database which you map in. Okay, now when you expand, this is the enrichment which you can see. uh, enrichment you can see on the enterprise security when you expand it in the enterprise security this thing lookup. And as you can see, this is the this is the representative list of asset and identities, guys. Basically, these are the tools which can help you to develop those lookups. This is the framework. Now, in this framework, the you can either build your custom technology add-ons which can produce lookup tables for you, or else you have pre-existing add-ons already. There are multiple add-ons available there in Splunk base, where it develops the lookups for you already, and then it can feed to the data just to normalize the data. Once the data is normalized, um, it can supply the data to the dashboard and searches, and once it is done, the analysts can perform their work correctly. We can go to risk analysis, risk framework. In risk framework, this is very interesting part where and very simple too as well. So what it does is quantitatively measures the uh, asset and identity activity done on the environment, and accordingly it uh, gives the factor to the incidents generated. So that's how it anticipate and prevent future threats. So makes it simple, makes simple for the analyst to identify. So that's where it prioritize and decide accordingly. uh, so yes, so all now this attributes based on business definitions around it. And now if you say left hand side, there are pre-basic rules which are configured, uh, risk rules, and then there is a risk index. The risk index is always carried out some with the framework which are available within enterprise security. There are multiple different frameworks MITRE ATT&CK framework phases of the attack, and then it is aligned to prioritize the incidents, and that's how risk is driven to the correlated events in the ES. Okay, enterprise security also has the dashboard to give you the complete posture around risk matrix which have been coming up in your environment. This matrix will help any analyst to take actions around what incidents I should look at. So there are as you can see, there are different risk priorities, even the numbers which has been assigned to it. So on the basis of the assets which are there, so you can know complete details if you go through the dashboard around in on risk metrics. Okay, also on the incident review dashboard, you could see the source will have a number aligned with the rate. This is also a risk analysis done by the enterprise security. So this is the framework, very easy framework even here. Whenever there is a correlation alert is being raised, triggered, it is mapped to the assets and the events coming in from the data sources. Once that is mapped, it is mapped with risk index available, which is a persistent, and then it can populate the risk against that uh, data and give it to you, present to you on dashboards and reports. Okay, we go towards threat intelligence. In threat intelligence, it's a very strong framework, guys. You can integrate any IOCs to any database within the complete framework, whether it is OpenASIS, Tix taxis, or XLS, as you can see, different file formats. So these are the steps which it goes through. So first is it takes the data sources, which is we are ingesting data into. Then it goes through collect and manage data management. Then it categorize all the IP addresses, emails, URLs, all the name processes, services, etc. Then it correlates the data. So correlates the data, which is a correlation engine within enterprise security. And it can give you in security dashboards as well. and also work with searches. So you can also search that around it. So how does it uh, map it to the data coming in from our environment? So these are all the knowledge base which threat collection has, and as I said, any format, local email, any format you can integrate. This is the um, dashboard where you can just how many there are free threat intelligence database available there out there, and also paid intelligence. If you have, you can integrate directly from one dashboard, one UI, and from here what it does is it deduplicates the whole content in a one pane and then run it through your dashboard. So you don't have to worry about uh, if it is generating the data and duplicates the data in your environment. So it's to duplicates the complete environment and correlate it with your incidents data coming in from your environment. So that's how it does it. As I said, it's immediate detailed information about detected activity. Then it's again gives you the what thread database set has been um, integrated, found the IOCs from, and then provide the detailed information of that particular activity as well. So it also gives you the original event if it is detect the IOC which is the data with the data. Okay, so you have again also the threat activity dashboard, same as the risk activity dashboard, which you have seen earlier, where you can find all the database which has you have been integrated with the environment, and then how many threat matches, the KPIs around the threat activity. So how many detected, how many and how many activities has been carried out. So all those activity, even in a sparkline mode, where you can find what all databases um, has been triggered in your environments, and gives you an overview of all the activities which has been done towards around the threat activity dashboard in your environment. Okay, so this is a basic threat intelligence framework where what it does is it filters the event coming in from your end data sources. Once that is filtered, what it does is it goes into a normalization mode where it does look up with the threat intelligence database uh, and finds out the matching IOCs on the event been coming in. Once the IOC has been triggered, it does uh, uh, generate the logs in the activity and maps to the risk index which is there. So that's how it the framework works exactly. Basically, small in a shorter form. There is also a rich content available. You can get you have a use case library, content library in enterprise security, which is updated continuously along with the stories, and those stories you can see mapped to different regulations in the industries, um, and those use cases, if it is makes sense for your environment, you can just go and check the way it has been configured. There are all descriptions, and the stories are given in the story form, and you can configure enable them easily from the user content library. So that is very strong point from enterprise security, where you can give all analytical stories, not only from use cases perspective, but it has complete frameworks like MITRE framework, NIST framework, CIS 20 framework. So those all frameworks are available for you to drill down and check all the use cases related to them. So that's how powerful this content library is. Once this is library, then there's this adaptive response within the enterprise security nerve center. Adaptive response is a capability where you can take actions on the end data sources directly from the enterprise security. However, these are the actions you can see mainly have like capture this stream capture. If you want to stream capture, once the alert is generated, you can stream capture, you can run a script, you can send an email. Basically, not only that, but then you can even take an actions around sandboxing the particular file, and many other. So adaptive response capability have that thing in there. So it is basically depend on the technology add-ons which has been available in the Splunk base. It's not only those technology add-ons which are there. However, you can create your own uh, adaptive responses actions as well. So it's not limited to that only. So you can do orchestration automation directly from enterprise security without having the SO platform as such to start with. However, SO platform gives you different capability altogether. So you can't compare adaptive response capability with the SO platform, of course, but then it gives adaptive response gives you the way to take automated actions. Okay, this is the framework. Again, simple framework. All the events triggered from the end data source. Security events triggered from the end data sources, which can then trigger a correlation rule. On the basis of correlation rule, you can take the actions around it. Okay. These are the basic use cases, framework use cases, enabled use cases. You name compliances. You can gain real-time postures. Even though if it is PCI, GDPR, all available within Splunk. Some of them are, you know, charged. Some of them are free, and and many of the compliances you can match. All security monitoring with the KSIs, key security indicators you can keep, which is editable. You can also have real-time alerts, notable events configured within environment, and also have a dashboard around it, marking them, which is from what uh, urgency level, and like that. Then we have checked the threat detection, advanced threat detection. You also have different dashboards around protocol level also, like you even drill down to POP3, IMAP protocols, and then there is this DNS activity which you can find the different dashboards available onto that. As well, you can also investigate around user activities as well. So very rich incident response capability it has within the enterprise security, called as workflow and workbench, where all the data flowing from particular asset or identity can be viewed from different angles, not different angle, as I said, from different layers of the attack, and makes it easier for you to or analyze the data from the end source. Also, adapter response capability, as we discussed, it gives you the automation capability to just to improve operational efficiency and central um, workbench for you to take an actions from. So these are the key takeaways. Enterprise security is the key analytics-driven solution, and I would say uh, security operation covers the security operations, all the challenges. It is also a framework to solve all your use cases, even though if it is from different compliance perspective or from analytical perspective side of it. Also has a hands-on. We can also schedule hands-on workshop if you want. You can just connect us and connect with us, and we can work throughout. Okay, guys, that's it from me. Any questions, queries, you can just pass it on. Also, one more thing. I think you must be knowing this already. Splunk SIM, for part of it, is a MQ leader from last 7 years in a row. So mm, that's what makes it the yes, yes. Please tell me the if you have any questions.
Yes, thank you so much, Gaurav. Thank you everyone for attending this session. We hope we were able to provide all the information that you were looking for. Also, we will share the recording of the session so that you can refer to it in the days ahead. And also, we'll be sharing the contact details of our SE as well as our sales team. You all can write back to us anytime for any queries. So, thanks again, and I hope all of you have a great day ahead.